Okay, good morning. I'm Steve Andrulonis. This is Greater Grace Church in Baltimore, and this is our morning devotional here for this Monday morning. We had a great day here at our church services yesterday. Just three wonderful messages that you could find at ggwo.org. If you're not there already, you can listen to the 9, the 11, and the 6:30 message. Pastor Roger Robbins, Pastor Matt Garrett, Pastor Justin Schaller. Really, we got a lot out of the Bible yesterday, and that's typical for our services, but just really encouraged by that. And I want to take a launching point this morning on this this passage from Daniel that we heard in the 9 o'clock service. Daniel says something to Nebuchadnezzar, who has had a dream. And the thing that he's asking his counselors to tell him is both the dream that he had in his sleep and the interpretation of that dream. So this is a big challenge. Like, these soothsayers and wise men, magicians, who had been around Nebuchadnezzar, were used to hearing things and then taking what they heard and finding an interpretation for that. But this was different. You got to tell me what I saw in my sleep, and then you've got to tell me what it means. So, this was a challenge, and, because no one really could look into the mind of the king in that way, into his subconscious, and draw out the dream that he had. They were panicking, and rightfully so, because he threatened to kill all of them. And he had sent his soldiers to do that before Daniel of the Hebrews, who was a member of the court of the king of Babylon, spoke to him and said, "But there is a God," verse 28, "but there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets and makes known what shall be in the latter days to King Nebuchadnezzar. The dream and the visions in your head upon thy bed are these." So God gave Daniel the dream and the meaning of the imagery that was revealed to Nebuchadnezzar in that. Now, this is a time of year when there's a lot of things that are set up. We're seeing the decorations everywhere. We did this at our house this weekend. We put the decorations up and set up our tree and all those things. So it's beginning. It looks a lot more like Christmas in my home now. And I'm thinking a lot of people see things at this time of year, and they have questions in their hearts, and who can tell them the meaning of these things? Now, we're not being asked by people to search their subconscious for their deepest dreams and desires. That would be a scary thing. Although we do have like a whole segment of society that seems to try to do that and draw things out with a therapeutic bent. Let's tell me about what it was like growing up. Tell me about certain crises in your life. And then people give like counsel and those kind of things. What is it? Wise counsel? I would like us to be, I think that we are positioned as people who believe in the person of Jesus and his message to all of the world, that he came to give his life as a ransom for the sins of all. I think that we can say what Daniel said to a powerful man and to people not so powerful. There is a God in heaven who reveals secrets. There is a God in heaven who reveals secrets. And as we go through the early parts of the gospel stories, particularly Matthew, Mark, and Luke, we can see that God chooses specific people to reveal his message to, his secrets to. We see that he reveals it to Zacharias and then Mary. We can see that he reveals it to kings of the East, men who watch the sky. They see a star show up, and in their hearts they realize that something significant, someone significant is entering the realm of people, the realm of humanity, a king. And so they come and they talk to another ruler, Herod, and the things that they say to that ruler are greatly agitating to him. And eventually we know that he becomes murderous, because if there is a king who is born in his realm, then he, as a ruler, his days are few. And he tried to wipe out Jesus. That's a whole nother kind of story about the devil's operation and the devil's plan to try and keep the message of the king and the reality of the king from people. And we live the way that Daniel lived, I think, knowing it's the best way to live. We know that we are greatly loved by God. That's another passage later. Again, I'm taking this from the message that Pastor Roger spoke yesterday morning at 9 a.m. I'm thinking about that, like in Daniel 10, an angel come, the angel Gabriel, the same angel that would appear to Zacharias and Mary. This same angel appeared hundreds of years before to Daniel, and he would come to Zacharias and Mary, revealing secrets, revealing something from heaven to people, simple, common people. Zacharias doing his duty as a man serving in the worship center at Jerusalem, got a message. Mary, a young girl who'd found favor, she's told that she would bear the Son of God and deliver him into this world. Excuse me. And, these wise men, we could talk about the shepherds too. It's so amazing. It's so amazing that God, excuse me again, chooses these people to reveal himself to. And we may find ourselves, in certain situations where we have answers for seemingly powerful people. They may not be on a throne like Nebuchadnezzar was, but they may be in a boardroom, in a corporate boardroom, or they may be the head of a family. And they are thinking things. They are seeing things. They are feeling things. And can we say to them, can each of us say to them, there is a God in heaven who reveals himself? Not just secrets about the future. The God in heaven revealed himself. And that's the story of Christmas, really, because Jesus came to a manger to reveal God in flesh. And he lived a life of perfection. And he offered that life of perfection on a cross that was lifted up from the earth, so that all who would look unto that cross would find the salvation, the redemption that God has purposed for a world that is lost in sin. Come to him today. If you haven't done that, you've happened upon this devotional thought somehow. Look to him. Look to Jesus. There is a God in heaven who reveals the way of salvation. How did he reveal the way of salvation? By sending the Son, into humanity to live a life just like ours, so that he could make us one with himself, and so that he came down so that he could live. He went into the ground in death, but he came out in resurrection so he could go up to his place, to his throne, where he stands, where he's resting, where he's interceding, where he's seated forever in a position of authority. That's the secret of the latter days, really, that we know the one who's seated in authority, who's just waiting for the moment, the fullness of time, to come to earth and demonstrate and reveal that authority. We have that expectation. God has revealed that to our hearts. The gospel story, read it, listen to the words, listen to them taught to you, read it and believe. The salvation of God, he has revealed it in the person of the Son. So that's a message for today. God bless you as you make all your preparations for the coming days. We have a great thing happening here tomorrow evening. And, of course, Wednesday evening we have a church service at 7. But tomorrow evening here at the church we'll have a great Christian Academy kids will do a great Christmas presentation. You're welcome to come and be a part of that too. We have a lot going on at Greater Grace. We love the Christmas season, caroling, all kinds of things, joy to the world. That's the message. The Lord has come. I'm Steve Andrulonis. God bless you. Have a great Monday and a great rest of the week. Amen.